All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another segment. This is a cooking minister, Minister Sterling B. So today I'm going to cook for you beef short ribs. I went out to the store, got me a nice small package of beef short ribs, just enough for one or two people. All right, and so I'm going to open this package here, and then after I open the package, I'm actually going to put it in a bowl, and I'm going to let some water run on it just to rinse it off. So while the water is running on it, to rinse it off, wash it off, I'm going to prepare my seasoning. I'm going to prepare the rest of the seasoning. So the seasoning that I'm preparing here: onion, cloves of garlic. All right, the garlics are in the skin. Some tomato. We call this small tomato. Then we have some country pepper here. What do you call that again? Scotch bonnet pepper, right? So actually, cooking tomato. That's what I was trying to say. Cooking tomato, I usually call this. Then also, I'm going to put some Irish potato in it. Just going to do that. So I'm going to season up the meat using a lot of these seasoning here, all-purpose seasoning. This one got paprika in it. I don't have any paprika right now, which I usually use, so I'm gonna use this. Put some of that in it. I'm gonna use some roasted garlic and herbs. Gonna use some all-purpose adobe season with some more paprika in it. Go put some cayenne pepper in it as well, and gotta put balsamic vinegar in it. I love balsamic vinegar. Love the taste. Love the flavor that it gives. So I'm going to season it up with some balsamic vinegar. And also I'm going to put some thyme leaves in it. Like I say, I like to cut up my thyme leaves. So I'm going to put some thyme leaf in it as well. And that's how I'm going to do it. So, all right, washing the meat, wash it thoroughly. Wash out all the blood and so forth, all right? So I've just washed the meat with cold water. Make sure wash out all the blood out of it. Okay, and now getting ready to put my seasoning on the meat. And so as I prepare my seasoning, I make sure that the water in the meat is completely drained off. So I don't really want to have the water in the meat, make it watery. So what I do, I slice up my cooking tomato. So I just slice up my cooking tomato, slice it up in chunks or in pieces. So I slice it up, usually cut it up small enough so that it will cook out in the and then I cut up my thyme leaf on my meat here. I like to put my thyme leaf in small pieces, a small portion. So I'll do that. All right, take my tomato, put my tomato in, cut up my thyme leaf, some more. Like I said, I like to cook out the thyme leaf in my meat. Some people don't like to do that. They like the thyme leaf to be whole, but I like to cook it out. All right, so there we have that. And then I'll add my pepper. Now the pepper have seed in it, so what I'll do, I'll cut out the top of the pepper and remove the seed part of it, just like that. So after I take out the seed part, I can easily cut my pepper in pieces. And there we go, cut it in small pieces. I love country pepper, love the smell of it, love the taste of it. Country pepper, you can eat it raw, has good properties. All right, country pepper, nice spice for the body. All right, then I'll use my clove of garlic. Now with the clove of garlic, the garlic will tenderize the meat for me. So some people might use tenderizer in their meat, but the garlic serves as a tenderizer as well. And there. So I just cut up the garlic, wash it off, make sure the garlic is clean from all the shell of it or the skin of it. So, and I like to cut up my garlic in my stuff here. So I'll cut up the garlic small pieces, and that will cook out. So once again, I'm making short ribs. I'm actually gonna bake it in the oven, and the oven, I'll set the degree of the oven to probably about 350, 365, somewhere around there. I'm not really sure what's the given temperature to cook short ribs on. I didn't research it, I didn't look it up. I just figure I'll put it on my own little temperature. So once again, skinning my onion, gonna add onion to it. Alright. Sometimes we add the powdery seasoning before we add these actually ground seasoning. Alright. So just skinning my onion, and then what I do, I wash the onion off, rinse it off, and then just cut up the onion. I found a nice, safe way to cut the onion is to cut it in half and then cut it up on the board like this. Easy. Cut it in small pieces. Turn it around, cut it on the other side so as to not to cut my fingers. So I just use half of the onion because the meat that I'm cooking is not much. So there you go, right? Put it right there in the pot. Nice and easy. Then I will add my powdery seasoning after that. So I have me like a little Irish potato, just to cook down in it, give it the nice flavor. And you know, the Irish potato, sometimes you just use it as an extra food, and not only that, you can there you go, use it as an absorbent also. In other words, it will absorb the oil and other watery ingredients so that your meat would not have too much of the watery stuff in it already. But anyway, that's for another stuff. So I'll put my powdery seasoning in now. Put in my roasted garlic in. Grace all-purpose. Gonna put some of that in it. If I can open it, there you go. Got it open. Put a little of that in it. I'll put some cayenne pepper in it also. Give it that spicy, peppery taste. Not too much cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper hot. Hot, you know. We say hot. Cayenne pepper hot. Alright, so yeah man, so that's about it, you know. Put some garlic powder on it. This garlic powder actually mixed with black pepper. I'll put a little bit of that. Oh, smell. The seasoning is just kicking up in my nostril right now. Kicking up very strong in my nostril. Can just smell it. Now I didn't add any salt to this because some of the seasoning have salt in it, and you don't need that. And even the Balsamic have a little salt in it too. So the Balsamic vinegar, put that on there. This is my favorite to cook with, the Balsamic. And that gives the meat a dark color also. Give the meat a dark color. So after I do all of that, I mix up the seasoning and the meat together, marinate it, right? Put it to marinate. So I'm just mixing it up together. There you go. And then I will put it aside for a while and let the seasoning and the meat get to know each other. So the seasoning, I remove the meat from the bowl and place it in a baking tin and pop it in the oven. So what I'll do, I'll turn the oven on, put it on bake, and I'll put it to about 365. gonna put it about 365 and bake it in the oven for a couple hours. So I put my meat in first, lay it out on the tray, nice and easy on the tray. I only have 3 pieces right here. Learning to eat now in smaller portions. So putting 3 pieces there. And then I will put the seasoning on top of the meat. Cover the meat with the seasoning. Alright, there you go. Cover the entire meat with the seasoning. Remember, I didn't put any salt in it. I felt that whatever seasoning in there would create enough flavor. But my mind is telling me to put a little salt, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna measure the salt with my hand and just put a little salt, just like that, to actually give it some tasty flavor. You know, salt, the Bible said, if it loses savor, or if it loses flavor, then what? So I know that salt has flavor in it, so just add a little salt right there. All right, then I'm gonna just put it in the oven. Okay, so now that the oven have reached the desired temperature that I want, I'm going to then put the tray of meat in the oven to cook. So open the oven here and let's get it in the oven to cook. There we go, right there into the oven. And now the final touch, you add some barbecue sauce and some butter, and let it sit for another 5 minutes, and that's it. Voila! Beef ribs.